Good morning, everybody. I'm going to give you some simple tips that'll make it easy for you to do two-digit subtraction. Now, don't make this harder than it has to be. And if you just listen carefully, I'm going to give you a few tips that'll help you do this correctly. Now, one thing I have seen over the years when getting ready to subtract is keeping your columns straight. Now, that's one thing that will mess you up every time. So if you're having an issue with that, I would just turn your paper this way. Just make a turn. And then look, you've got lines, and the lines will keep you in the correct spot you're supposed to be when you start your subtraction. So I put mine up here so we can look at it, and we're going to look at the blue row first. And as you always know, you always start in the ones and then the tens, the ones and the tens, the ones and the tens. So let's start with the very first subtraction problem we have. 46 minus 25. So we always start in the ones place. Now here's where you decide whether you have to borrow or not. Look at the second digit. Is 5 bigger than 6? Just take a second and think about it. Well, we know the answer to that is no. So if it's not bigger, we just subtract. So what is 5? You take 5 away from 6. How many do you have left? That's right, 1. Let's look at the tens place. 4 minus 2. If you take 2 away from 4, you have how many left? Correct. All right, let's look at the second one we have up here. 67 minus 35. Always start in which place? The ones, and we have them nice and lined up so we don't have to think about looking for our number. Take 5 from 7. Can you do that? Yes. And how many do we have left? 2. Correct. And then we go over to our tens place, and we're going to take 6 minus 3, and we have how many? 3. All right, let's look one more up here in the blue. We always start in our ones, and the problem is 28 minus 16. So let's go to our ones place. Is 6 smaller than 8? Yes, it is. So if we take it away, we have 2 left, and 2 take away 1 is 1. All right, let's go down to the red. Now, this time we've got to do some thinking. So let's start with our problem, 52 minus 14. We always start in which place? That's right, the 1. So let's look. 4 minus 2. Is 4 bigger than 2? It is. So we know we're going to have to borrow. Now, if we borrow, we go to the tens place, and we take 1 away from 4, and we're going to take that 1 over to the ones place. So you've got 1 10 and 2 ones. Now, if it helps you do this, put this at the top of it. It helps me keep it straight in my head. So if you take 1 10 and add it to 2, 10 plus 2 is 12. Now we can subtract. What is 12 minus 4? That's right, 8. Good. And we've got a 4, and 4 take away 1 is what? 3. Good job. All right, let's look at the next one. 64 minus 19. 64 minus 19. Well, let's look in the ones place. Is the 9 bigger than the 4? It is. So I'm going to have to come over and borrow. If you take 1 away from 6, you have 5. You can either put it right next to it, or if it helps you, 10 plus 4 is 14. Whatever helps you do it better. So what is 14? Take away 9. That's right, 5. And 5 take away 1 is what? 4. Okay, got one more. 43 minus 26. Let's go to the one spot. Is 6 bigger than 3? Yes, it is. So what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to go over to the tens, borrow 1. That makes that a 3. And as I said, you can put it like that to make 13, or if it's easier to remember, 10 plus 3 is 13. So what is 13 minus 6? That's right, 7. And what is 3 minus 2? 1. Now, I was showing you this and having to write on top of it, and my numbers didn't really line up very well, did they? But when you get in a straight line and keep them organized and straight, it'll help you subtract, and we always start with the ones, and then we go to the tens. Now, this is an easy way to help you borrow. If you need to, I would get a piece of paper, have somebody write me down some problems, or you could write some problems down and start and practice. Start with the ones and the tens. And this will be easy peasy lemon squeezy if you just follow these easy tips for you to be able to borrow using two-digit multiplication.